All right, so setting these up, I'm first going to start with my rational zeros, so 6. So x minus 6 is the corresponding factor. X minus a minus becomes plus 6. And then I have my imaginary and irrational at the same time, x minus root 7I. Again, the I is not in the radical, so be careful with that. And as with any of them, anytime you have a radical and or an imaginary number, you have to have a conjugate pair. So the conjugate pair is the opposite sign, so root 7 or negative root 7I. And so that would be our last factor. X minus a negative gives you plus root 7I. Okay, so here is our factor, or here is our sort of factor string. So I'm going to enter that into my I'm going to enter that into my y editor. So I'm going to go up here and replace, giving me x minus 6, x plus 6, x minus, and I'll use square root 7, close that off, and then multiply by I, which is second catalog, close off my factor. And now the conjugate pair, x minus a minus gives me x plus. Again, square root 7, close off the radical. Second catalog for the I, close off my factor. And so once I do that, I get my function, with everything except for my leading coefficient. So again, when I plug in what I know, I know that 2160 is equal to A times, and I'm going to use y1 of, and because I know what I want to plug in here, I'm going to enter that here. So y1 of negative 3, and I want to solve for A. And so if I use this set of commands, again, very efficient, I'll get my solution. So I go to my home screen, solve, 2160 equals A explicitly multiply times y1 of x, but I don't want just x. I know what I need to substitute in for it, so I plug in my 3. Okay, and then I can tell the calculator what I want it to solve for. I want to find what A is. When I hit enter, I get negative 5 once again. Okay, and so that would be my leading coefficient. And my final step then would be to write my expanded function as a polynomial. And the way I can do that is go into my expand command, F2 algebra tab, option 3. And my expansion is going to be this negative 5 times my whole y function, y1 of x. Close off my expand, and when I do this, it will give me the polynomial form. So I get negative 5x to the 4th. Okay, I have plus 145x squared. And my final term is plus 1260. And so those would be my, that would be my polynomial form. Bless you.